Good morning, everybody. I'm Joshua Orro, the Mustang Prince, and welcome to Mustang Prince Orro Reports. Now, over the course of her TV series, Princess Sofia has been on several exciting and enchanted adventures. She's explored many different places, and she's encountered many unique creatures. But, did you know that Sofia got to visit a hidden magical world inhabited by elves? Well, folks, that world is featured in the episode that I'll be blogging today. So let's get started. Airing on television on November 13th, 2015, this is Sofia in Elvenmoor. Now, on for the plot of the episode. While accompanying her dad on a job to build a new road, Sofia finds a silver tree in the Whispering Woods, which leads to the realm of Elvenmoor. It's a really beautiful place, but unfortunately, the Royal Road crew wants to cut down the tree, which will close the door to Elvenmoor forever, and Sofia won't be able to get back home. There are only two problems though. One being the doorway back to the forest moves, and the other being Alfonso and Clover keep getting distracted by everything happening in this realm on their way to the door. So, what are my thoughts on this episode? Well, to me, this has got to be one of my favorite episodes from Season 3, and to further explain why, let's move on to Mustang Notes. Now, firstly, both this episode's title and story are a nod to Lewis Carroll's Alice in Wonderland, and it's also a nod to Alfred Baum's The Wizard of Oz, due to Sofia saying, upon arriving in Elvenmoor,
I don't think we're in Enchantia anymore.
Yeah, I know that I said that I never include any clips from anything that I talk about, but I had to make an exception. Plus, there's a green path that references the yellow brick road. Secondly, this is the second and final episode to have Sofia's name in the title. The first being Sofia II. Also, the moral of this episode is, there are times where you must be serious and focused, which is something that I know how to do, mostly, especially nowadays, due to me not only having a job at Target, but also because I have my own place that I live in. Also, do you guys know what the craziest fact regarding this episode is? Well, not only did I watch it during the weekend where I was supporting my sister, who was performing in The Little Prince at Cal Poly San Luis Obispo, but its airing date was the tragic day when the beautiful city of Paris, France went... Plus, it was also the day when I saw 3 black kittens at a pet shop, due to it being Friday the 13th and all. As for the animation, well, to me, Toei on CGI is simply amazing. And I think the Whispering Woods is a very enchanting place. And I heard that it's a reference to the 1980s TV series She-Ra, Princess of Power. But the place that really sticks out in this episode is Elvenmoor, which is a magical land full of imaginative wonders, and it's also inhabited by elves. Also, the sky is pink, and there are mushrooms as tall as trees. Plus, the passage to Elvenmoor is located inside a silver tree, which is a doorway between Elvenmoor and the human world. Also to note, Elvenmoor shares many references to Wonderland, due to both being realms of enchanted wonders, which are found after the heroines fall down a hole. And I find it pretty funny, due to the fact that during late spring of 2015, I got to perform in a Wonderland-themed show at Musical Theater Village called Alice One Cat's Tale, where I performed as Dr. Dodo, the Duke of Cheshire, Crazy 8 Number 1, aka the Joker, and the Lobster. Plus, I'd like to thank my good friend, Princess Christy Fenton Royer, for directing it. And now, let's talk about the episode's song, Elvenmoor, which is sung by Alfonso, while giving Sofia and Clover a musical tour. Now, this is the 4th song in the series to be about a location. The previous 3 were Royal Prep, Maraway Cove, and Mystic Meadows. And in my opinion, this is a really fun song, and I like that Alfonso shows Sophia several fun things, like an upsy-downsy slide, bouncing mushrooms, and a thrilly lily pad. And now let's move on to the characters and the voice actors who brought him to life. Princess Sofia is voiced by Ariel Winter, whom was young Kyrie in the Kingdom Hearts game series, Marina in Jake and the Neverland Pirates, a few of Thumper's sisters in Bambi 2, young Trixie in Speed Racer, Marlene in the complete version of Final Fantasy VII Advent Children, Penny Peterson in DreamWorks Mr. Peabody and Sherman, and Smurf Lily in Smurfs The Lost Village. As usual, Sophia is a sweet, fun-loving, brave, and adventurous princess, but at the same time, she considers her duties and responsibilities as very important, and there are times where Sophia can be serious and focused when necessary. During this episode, Sophia accidentally stumbles into Elvenmoor, and after seeing several sights and having some fun, she receives a warning that her dad's road crew might cut down the silver tree, which could trap her in Elvenmoor forever, which means that Sophia has to try not to get distracted by Elvenmoor's amusement and hurry back before the door vanishes. Next is Sophia's dad, King Roland II, voiced by Travis Willingham, whom I remember as Thor from several animated Marvel TV shows, Kuko from Elena of Avalor, and foreteller Aced from Kingdom Hearts Key. During this episode, Roland is helping build a new road through the Whispering Woods. While Sophia is in Elvenmoor, the crew workers, Duncan and Herb, tell Roland that they must cut down the silver tree to stay on schedule. But thankfully, when Sophia returns, with some help from one of his Together feathers, she tells him about Elvenmoor, and he orders the tree not to be chopped down. Now, to me, while Roland is a serious and focused king, I like that he has a very kind, loving, and an understanding personality. Next up is Sophia's bunny friend, Clover, voiced by Wayne Brady, whom was in Clifford's Really Big Movie, along with Stuart Little 3 and Food Fight. In this episode, Clover accompanies Sophia while she explores the land of Elvenmoor, and I like that he finds a forever carrot, which is a carrot that you can eat for the rest of your life. However, while trying to catch up with the door back to the human world, Clover keeps wasting time playing when something catches his eyes. Sadly, Sophia's squirrel friend Whatnot is a silent character and has no voice actor. But that's what makes him pretty unique. Plus, I never actually realized until recently that Whatnot was inspired by Harpo Marx, due to both having pantomime and comedic skills, and the fact that they both share similar facial features. Anyway, this is the second episode in the series where Whatnot has a more active role, the first being Gizmo Gwen. Soon, after Sophia and Clover fall into Elvenmoor, Whatnot overhears an old elf named Alfred say that if the tree gets cut down, the door to Elvenmoor will be closed forever, and no one will be able to get in or out. So, Whatnot does everything in its power to try to prevent the tree from getting chopped down, like sending a saw into the river and unscrewing a couple axes. Next we come to Sophia's new friend, Alfonso, a resident of Elvenmoor, voiced by Todd Haberkorn, whom was in Fairy Tail, Soul Eater, Sergeant Frog, and Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood. Now, I really like this character. In my opinion, he's a very playful elf who loves to have fun. However, this can also make him a bit irresponsible and more of a hindrance than a helper during a crisis. Also, I think Alfonso makes a pretty decent guide for Sophia, and I like that he tries to help her get back to the human world. Another character to talk about is Alfred, voiced by Chris Edgerly, who you may remember as the voice of Sid Highwind from Final Fantasy VII and in the Kingdom Hearts games. Now, unlike Alfonso, Alfred is very serious and responsible, as shown when he tells Alfonso that this is no time for games, which makes him the first to raise an alarm when something bad is happening. And now on to my final words. Overall, Sofia and Elvenmoor is such a whimsical episode. The animation is fantastic as usual. The story is absolutely well done while paying homage to Alice in Wonderland, and I think it was such a fun adventure. Plus, I like how the episode takes on desire and how it can cloud your judgment. And I think it fits pretty well with the characters. And I like how it all ends on a nice moral on staying focused and being serious. As for my rating, I'll give it a full 100%. Well, that's all for now. Be sure to join me for my next episode, where we go back to the early 1950s to look at an animated version of Wonderland. Mustang Power.